What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, hit the like button and the subscribe button. It's a whole bunch of stuff that I post on my channel, from cooking to tarot videos to health, wellness, working out, and all the things like that. So if you're interested in anything like that, then definitely subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you're a returning subscriber, what's up, you guys? Thank you for being here. So excited. Today we're going to be doing some power yoga. If you've never heard of power yoga, you will be able to read it right here, okay? So all the benefits of power yoga. This one is only going to be about 18 minutes long. They do have longer versions out. So without further ado, guys, jump into something comfortable and let's jump right into it. I am following along with Adrienne, Yoga with Adrienne on YouTube, so I recommend you do the same. So, or just follow me and watch me do it. Jump into something comfortable and let's do it. It feels so good when love changes a heart. It feels good when love causes a spark. It feels good when love is a match for me. It feels good when love is my matchmaker. It feels good when a loving person comes into my life. It feels good being in the flow of love. It feels good loving freely. It feels good seeing the world through the eyes of love. It feels good loving all that life has to offer. It feels good loving life to the fullest. It feels good loving me unconditionally. It feels good being love. It feels good focusing on love. It feels good giving life to love. It feels good thinking loving thoughts. It feels good remembering love. It feels good seeing the love of my life. It feels good seeing others in love. It feels good being inspired to love. It feels good letting love lead the way. It feels good being deeply in love. It feels good attracting love. It feels good to allow love. It feels good to be confronted by love. It feels good to focus on the feeling of love. It feels good being aware of love. It feels good being captivated by love. It feels good being entranced by love. It feels good being ready for love. It feels good being open to love. It feels good knowing the compassion of love. It feels good being free to love. It feels good welcoming love. It feels good seeing the beauty of love. It feels good dreaming of love. It feels good having the unique experience of love. It feels good to vibrate on the frequency of prosperity. It feels good to live a lavish life. It feels good being financially independent. It feels good being affluent. It feels good knowing everything always works out for me. It feels good having everything that I need. It feels good having all my needs met. It feels good realizing financial wellness. It feels good seeing the manifestation of wealth. It feels good realizing financial wellness. It feels good seeing the manifestation of wealth. It feels good having enough. It feels good seeing abundance. It feels good being inspired. It feels good having the money to do what I want to do. It feels good being in the midst of prosperity. It feels good being rich. It feels good treating myself to nice things. It feels good realizing my financial goals. It feels good accessing material wealth at will. It feels good positively influencing my financial health. It feels good being financially healthy. It feels good living the life of my dreams. It feels good having more than enough. It feels good living my truth. It feels good expanding. It feels good being in the flow of success. It feels good knowing that money wants me. It feels good knowing that money needs me. It feels good fulfilling my financial needs. It feels good knowing that money is dependent on my intention to it. It feels good being in control of my life. It feels good being the recipient of good things. It feels good being the participant of a wonderful life. It feels good staying in tune with prosperity. It feels good receiving multiple streams of passive income. It feels good getting checks in the mail. It feels good getting money from unexpected sources. It feels good getting money when I least expect it. It feels good driving my dream car. It feels good living in my dream home. It feels good seeing my loved ones live a life of prosperity. It feels good being genuinely happy for successful people. It feels good being inspired by successful people. It feels good being in the center of richness. It feels good acquiring new things. It feels good focusing on what feels good to me. It feels good being the focus of my attention. It feels good seeing the abundant world. It feels good to believe in myself. It feels good enjoying life. It feels good to be kind and generous. It feels good to be in a state of allowing. It feels good to cause wonderful things to happen to me. It feels good to be ready for prosperity. It feels good to be alive. It feels good to gain wealth. It feels good to see the power of my thought. It feels good to be in agreement with wealth. It feels good to know happiness is in abundance from within. It feels good to know that the universe is always expanding. It feels good to know that I am always expanding. It feels good to know that I can buy anything I want. It feels good to know that I always have what I need. It feels good to be the one with the energy of prosperity. It feels good to feel joyful. It feels good to taste the sweetness of life. It feels good being in the center of richness. It feels good acquiring fine things. It feels good fulfilling the financial needs of my loved ones. It feels good living with ease. It feels good cultivating a life of bliss. It feels good being inspired to acquire wealth. It feels good desiring success. It feels good living well. It feels good being satisfied. It feels good being a teacher of love. It feels good being a knower of love. It feels good being a master of love. It feels good being kissed by love. It feels good being held by love. It feels good being embraced by love. It feels good thinking loving thoughts. It feels good having love in my life. It feels good to know that I am a multi-dimensional being. It feels good seeing me in others. It feels good learning from others. It feels good learning from life circumstances. It feels good to see my inner glow. It feels good to see confirmation of my love. It feels good to witness my creativity. It feels good to receive. It feels good to be in the vortex of bliss. It feels good to be significant. It feels good to feel my way through life. It feels good to flourish. It feels good to know the possibilities are endless. It feels good to be a divine force. It feels good to feel good at will. It feels good to know that I am the only causer in my life. It feels good to know that I control my life. It feels good to see the present version of myself. It feels good to see others feel good. It feels good to be surrounded by goodness. It feels good tasting the sweetness of life. It feels good to be on my life journey. It feels good to discover new things about me. It feels good to learn new ways to realize satisfaction. It feels good to succeed in being me. It feels good tasting the deliciousness of my success. It feels good finding new ways to feel good. It feels good to meet all of my needs. It feels good to be me. It feels good to love who I am. It feels good to be inspired by me. It feels good to have a deeper love for life. It feels good to witness my success. It feels good to see my reflection in those around me. It feels good to know the benefits of emotions. It feels good to be aware of my internal guidance system. It feels good to be in alignment with my internal guidance system. It feels good to see the beauty in all things. It feels good to love what I see. It feels good to love how I feel. It feels good to be in a good feeling space. It feels good to feel good at will. It feels good to know that I am the only causer in my life. It feels good being attentive to my needs. It feels good being in a relationship with me. It feels good to be fun and carefree. It feels good being at peace. It feels good having peace of mind. It feels good to get the answers I seek. It feels good to ask. It feels good to be a part of a legacy of wonder. It feels good to see the changing seasons of my life. It feels good to have appreciation. It feels good to know that I am exactly where I need to be. It feels good to know that the universe is working for me. It feels good to know that I am part of something greater. It feels good to see life from a broader perspective. It feels good to live with ease. It feels good to go with the flow. It feels good to see through the lens of my truth. It feels good to be decisive. It feels good to be one with my higher self. It feels good to do what I want to do. It feels good to please myself. It feels good to be proud of myself. It feels good to accomplish my goals. It feels good to manifest my desires. It feels good to be in a positive thought space. It feels good knowing that everything will be alright. It feels good being a positive influence. It feels good being in alignment with positivity. It feels good being in good company with myself. It feels good appreciating the relationship that I have with myself. It feels good being kind to others. It feels good loving others. It feels good being surrounded by love. It feels good being in a state of neutrality. It feels good knowing that I can feel love at any time. It feels good being the causer of love. It feels good living on a loving planet. It feels good seeing the world through the eyes of love. It feels good loving life to the fullest. It feels good loving me unconditionally. It feels good being love. It feels good focusing on love. It feels good giving life to love. It feels good thinking loving thoughts. Thank you for watching. Namaste.